Another Bendy and the Ink Machine theory? You betcha! Hey yo Prodigies, Charles here, and in this video I'll be sharing with you a Bendy and the Ink Machine theory. This one will explain why Bendy wants to kill you. If you would like more horror game theories, remember to subscribe and tap that bell, as there will be more to come. And just before we begin, if you can't watch this video all the way through right now, remember to tap add to and select watch later to save your progress, or just do it for fun. Let's start with what we know. We know that Bendy attempts to catch Henry in chapter 1. We also know that Joey Drew gets the workers at his cartoon studio to give offerings to appease the gods. Boris's corpse can be seen sitting upright on a table in its own room in the studio. And finally, Bendy chases after Henry in chapter 2, and making contact with Bendy causes Henry to black out. Got all those facts? Now let's bring it all together. Before determining why Bendy wants to kill Henry, we first need to determine whether Bendy wants to kill Henry in the first place. From what we know, the evidence seems pretty clear that this is the case. Bendy tries to claw at Henry to catch him in chapter 1, and in chapter 2, even though Bendy ignores Henry during Sammy Lawrence's ritual, Bendy will chase after him soon after. Making contact with Bendy during the chase results in a screen blackout and game over. Judging from the Meatly's pre-release comments on chapter 2, this is probably a death sequence. Keep in mind that although the screen blacks out, it might not be Henry's death. When Henry is knocked out by the searchers, a chilling gurgling sound can be clearly heard coming from him. However, when Henry is caught by 3D Bendy, also known as Ink Bendy, all that can be heard is Ink Bendy letting out a scream as the screen blacks out. To me, this suggests that Henry probably died to the searchers, but there's a chance that Henry may have been captured by Bendy. For the sake of this video, let's assume that things aren't so complicated and go with the blackouts indicating death. So now we know that Bendy wants to kill us, but why? We know that Joey Drew wanted the workers to offer sacrifices to appease the gods, and our theories so far have suggested that these sacrifices were provided by each of the more important workers at the studio. There are two main consequences of this. 1. The workers offered these items, which transmogrified them into cartoons made by the studio that they shared the strongest connection with. These are connections such as Joey Drew becoming Bendy, Sammy becoming Boris, and Susie Campbell becoming Alice Angel. If you would like more information on this, check out my Why is Boris Alive theory. A card for this video will appear in the top right now. 2. The workers offered these items to literally appease a god or demon who assisted in materializing the cartoons of the studio in a 3D form. The demons may then possess each cartoon, leading to their vicious nature. For more information on this, check out my Is Bendy Possessed theory by clicking on the card that appears in the top right. Given that Bendy appears at the end of chapter 2 and looks to be friendly, it looks more likely that the workers were transmogrified into their 3D cartoon forms. If this is the case, then I think that Bendy may be coming after Henry to transform him into a 3D cartoon as well. Why? There are 6 offerings that help to power the Ink Machine, and we've only been introduced to the idea of 5 so-called main workers at the studio so far. These workers are Joey Drew, Sammy Lawrence, Susie Campbell, Norman Polk, and Wally Franks. So who donated the 6th item? Some may say that the 6th worker has yet to be introduced, and with at least 3 more chapters left in Bendy and the Ink Machine, that's quite possible. After all, we need more cartoon characters to make the rest of our theories make sense as well. Provided that none of the workers were feeling generous enough to give 2 items, there had to have been a 6th worker to donate an item during the events of the first ritual. Given what we've seen happening at the studio so far, it's not that unlikely that this 6th worker had either found a way to escape from the studio or had just plainly died without being transmogrified after the first ritual was performed. If the worker escaped, then this may have been Wally Franks. After all, we've seen a lot of evidence that if Joey Drew pulls Wally's final straw, he's out of there. On the other hand, if the 6th worker didn't transform successfully and plainly died as a result of the ritual, Bendy may be seeking Henry as a sacrifice to be transmogrified into a 3D cartoon. After all, who else would be more likely to make as successful a transformation as Henry, who had been so dedicated to his craft and work at the studio 30 years prior? Of course, this is provided that passion for the cartoons plays a part in the success of the rituals. What do you think? I think that if there is some kind of god or demon-like character being pleased, and if Bendy truly is vicious as a result of possession by this demon, then Bendy wants to kill Henry out of either pure rage or out of revenge. Check the card in the top right for a deeper analysis on this. But if Bendy is angry at Joey Drew for killing Boris, then it's possible that Bendy associates all humans with that one event and leaves no stone unturned. Bendy is out to get everyone. Joey, Sammy, Henry, and all. Remember to subscribe and tap that bell for more cool and interesting horror game theories. If you enjoy horror game theories, be sure to check the description for a link to all of the theories and secrets and prodigies. I really hope that these theories help you to expand on how you think, so it can help you with how you go about your thinking in your daily lives. By the way, the prodigies are now over 50,000 strong. Thank you so much for all of your support. It has been absolutely phenomenal. Let me know in the comments if you're excited or if you're new so we can celebrate together. Like I say on Twitter, it's time for us to celebrate. Peace, love, and happiness, my friends. See ya!